Alright, so today's video is going to cover linear equation word problems with tables. Like every word problem, the first step is to just read it. With these word problems, there's actually, it's going to ask you for either the slope, to find the rate, the initial value of the y-intercept, or some coordinate point. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But the first part is just to read it, and then as soon as you read it, you want to put in this equation and you want to transfer that table over so that you can get the line in decimals. So Monco went scuba diving. As he dove deeper, the water pressure around him increased at a constant rate. And then you can see the table tells us the depth is x. So the deeper he goes, the more pressure the water is, when you go in water, just like if you dived in a deep end ever and you go under your nose or like your ears start popping, that's the pressure that the water puts. So the deeper you get, the more pressure. The question's asking us, what was the pressure around Monco when he was 30 meters deep? And then you can see the answers asking us for atmospheres, and when we look back at the table, atmospheres is the y value. So it's asking us for a y value here. And in the problem, in the question, is saying when he was 30 meters deep. So it's giving us 30 meters, and we know meters is x. So it's actually giving us a coordinate point here. It's not asking for an initial value. It's not asking for the rate. It's asking for a coordinate point. It tells us half of the point. It tells us that the x value is 30, and we're trying to find the y value. So I've got this table in. That red line represents the problem. And then we got to put in our equation, and it's giving us an x value. So we're going to create a line started with x equals 30. We're going to use this line to figure out what coordinate point to find the coordinate point we want. So when he's 30 meters deep, the pressure is 4 atmospheres. And I'll punch that in, just like that, 4 atmospheres, and I move on, just like that. Ooh, this one's tricky. Natsuma paints walls for a living. She paints at a constant speed. It then takes a constant amount of time to clean up. In the table, we've got area, so the x value represents the amount of space that she's painted, and the y value represents the time it's taken her to paint that amount of space. Okay, and the question says, how long does it take Natsuma to paint 1 square meter? So 1 square meter would mean that there's 1 in the denominator, because y over x, we know that meters are represented by x, and we're trying to figure out what that y value is. So in this case, we know it's not asking us for an initial value, and I could see why you might think it's a coordinate point. It's not. It's actually asking us for the slope. Anytime that it gives you a 1, it's saying, hey, how many y's per 1x, which is essentially just the slope. So I punch the table in. I don't even need to look at the line. I'm looking at the m value. The m value says 0.05. So how long does it take her to paint 1 square meter? It takes her 0.05 hours. If you want to know what that is in minutes, do the conversion yourself. Alright, so let's go ahead and do example number 3. Okay, here we have the price of a climbing trip to Mount Kilimanjaro includes an initial fee plus a constant fee. The table shows you the information about the trip, where the x value represents the distance that you've gone. So as this person climbs higher, it's going to cost more money because you're paying per distance. How far can you climb for $131? So we know that's not asking us for initial fee. It's not asking us for a rate. Doesn't use the word per. Doesn't say like for 1 meter like the last problem did. So it's asking us for a coordinate point, and we can deduce from that since the number it gives us is a dollar sign, and we know that y represents dollars, we know that it's saying the y value is 133 or 131. What's the meters, or what's the x value? So I'm going to head over to the table. I've already entered it in. We've got this line right here. We're going to create another line. This time this line is going to start with y. equals, because the value it gives us is a y value, 131. We're going to use this line, this black line, to help us find the right coordinate point. So for $131, you can climb 200, or this person can climb 200 meters. And boom. And that's how you do linear equation word problems. Expect to struggle at first. The only way to get better is to read and diagram and practice. Good luck.